Hi guys, this is Lewis Ward and I am 110 days sober today. So the idea of this is my first episode on the YouTube channel slash podcast idea is just to kind of talk about how I got to this point and answer some questions from other people who were interested in knowing what it was that made me start, what it was that has kept me going, and just the insight into how I am where I am now. People that know me well know that I was in a bad way for a long time. So this is a massive change for me, and a lot of people are surprised that I've managed to do it because I've always been the guy that said I was going to and never did. The man of many lies. So I'll start from the beginning, just to make it a little bit easier. I drank every other day for I'd say since I was about 21. I know a lot of people say, I started drinking at 12, 13. It's not a competition. Like, there's no winners in this game. Like, just a bunch of losers. And I'm certainly one of them. So, I drank from 17, 18 in the pubs, as everyone does, just socially. And then got to 21, 22, and that's when it started to kind of take over. I made really poor decisions. I lost a lot of friends over it. I was a liability, to say the least. So many people have said to me, it's been a long time coming. And that's exactly how I look at it. It is exactly that. It's taken me a long time to get to this point, but without all of those mistakes that I made in the past, I wouldn't be where I am now. So I know it's very cliche that, but it's so true, because people want to look back on the past and bury it. You can't. It happened. Like, whether you like it or not, it happened, and you've got to own it. You've got to deal with the fact that that is now a part of your past, not a part of your present and your future and your current life and current situation. Because otherwise you'll never sleep over it. You'll just be thinking about the mistakes, and then you go, oh, well, I've already fucked up, so I'm proof that you can turn it around, hopefully, for a lot of people. As I say, every other day for 10 years, I'd say. My longest I went sober was at 22. I did dry January, and I did 30 days. Since then, I've drank every other day. I think I did 7 days about 3 years ago. I'd get to 2-3 days, and then everything would fall apart. And I'd go, well, I haven't got that much of a problem. I could just drink at the weekends, and then the weekends would become Wednesdays, and then Wednesdays would become Thursdays. There's always an excuse to drink. If I had a good day, I'd have a drink. If I had a bad day, I'd have a drink. If Chelsea won, I'd have a drink to celebrate. If Chelsea lost, I'd have a drink to drown my sorrows. So you're always going to find an excuse. You're never going to find an excuse to stop. You'll always find an excuse to carry on. And that was how my life was for so long. And then 22, 23, cocaine started to sneak into it, and it was the balancer for me. It stopped me being that levered guy that was constantly like off his nuts, slurring, swaying around the room. Cocaine balanced me. I wasn't bad on it. I wasn't one of these people that got really edgy. I didn't get a paranoia. I knew my limit and I'd stop there. I wasn't chasing it until 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the morning, 2 days binges. We've all had them, but that wasn't really my go-to use of it. It was just to balance the levered side of me and just bring me back to an even keel, maybe. I felt I was doing people a favour. No, that's the truth. I felt like I was doing people a favour by doing cocaine to balance me out so they didn't have to deal with me levered. It's bollocks, isn't it, really? I was doing it for myself because I'm selfish. That's what the real reason behind it is. But I had a couple of questions from people, and I thought it'd be good to answer them to kind of explain it, how I got from that point of 10 years of every other day. I was drinking maybe 8 to 10 pints a day. It's not a competition, as I said. No one comes out of it better than others. Oh, well, I had 20. Well done. I had 4. Doesn't mean you're better or worse. I know people that maybe have 4 or 5 pints and are as much in trouble as I was, maybe, because they can't control the 4 or 5 as much as I couldn't control the 8, 9. So the question I had, one was from Ollie, and he said, why now? Why? I've tried this before. I was one of these people that would always say, I'm going sober, I need to, I can't do it anymore, blah, blah, blah. 2 reasons, mainly, which goes into another question I had from a guy on TikTok called Quake. What 2 attributes do I put it down to for staying sober? The answer's the same for both. And one is my son, Frankie. He's 8 months old, and he is everything to me, and I have to do it. I have to. No option now. It was my decision to go sober. It wasn't a decision made for me. You're going to be bitter for the rest of your life if the decision is taken out of your hands. which I think I was maybe about 2 or 3 weeks away from it being. I think the missus would have said, I'm off, sort it out. You're always then going to look at that person with disdain, because you're going to be thinking, you're the reason I'm sober. I still want to drink. Wow, 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 wow. I made this decision myself. I said, I'm going sober. I have to go sober. I hit my rock bottom. It probably wasn't my lowest point. I've probably had worse rock bottoms, but this was a point of no return, that I have to do this now. So Frankie, my son, is the reason one, and my family obviously. Reason two is me. Like, bored of it. Like, there's only so long you can do the same thing. It's that cliche saying we've heard of insanity, same thing over and over again, expecting different results. I am exhibit A of that. Every single day was the same for me. It was drink or be hungover, drink or be hungover, over and over again, and expecting one day for it all to fall into place and be fine. And it wasn't. It wasn't getting better. It was getting worse. I wasn't enjoying it anymore. You're chasing that feeling of wanting to be as good as it was when you were younger. You go out on a night out and have 2 beers, 3 beers, you're having a great time. No one has a great story from 10 pints in, because you don't remember it. So what's the point? But some people can go out and have 2, 3 pints and go home. I wasn't that guy. Congratulations if you are. This video is not for you. I wasn't that guy. I wanted to get obliterated. I wanted to forget my name. I wanted to get stupid. People would come up to me and go, oh mate, how funny were you last week? Oh, it's a great night. I don't know who this guy is. They're telling me stories. Oh mate, how's your son? You were telling me all about him. I don't know who you are. And that's my fault, because I was so selfish and such a mess. Not proud of that, but that's where I was to where I am now. Another question I had was from a guy called SGK on TikTok that said, how do you deal with the sleepless nights? Sorry, that's your thing that you're going through, but it wasn't the thing I dealt with. I did it different than others. People go to meetings, people go to this. I did meetings for drink and cocaine. They did enough for me to talk, but they didn't do enough for me to stop. My thing was different. I took a month off work, a full month. I'm self-employed, took a massive hit. My mum helped me out with a month's rent just to get me through, because I said I need to do this. It was a mini rehab at home for me. So I did a week without leaving the house. The furthest I left the house was this garden that I'm in now, which is why I'm doing the first episode of this in the garden. I didn't want to risk what was beyond these gates. I know what's beyond these gates, and for me it wasn't good. I'm not saying that I couldn't leave. It wasn't like I was sat in the room and like, oh my God, like you see in the films. That's heroin, man. I wasn't that guy. I was just, I can't be trusted. After 2-3 days, I've convinced myself I'm okay, and then I just go back to where I was. So I didn't leave the house for a week. I didn't leave the confines of my home and my garden. The rest of the month I took off, and I spent time doing things that I wouldn't normally do. So I was running in the garden. I was trying to spend more time with my family, which was, it helps. It does help. Then I started going out and doing things that I would normally do drunk and trying them sober. I went to a gig, a day festival in London. I went to it and I did it sober. It's all well and good saying don't do things that you normally do. Get rid of all the numbers in your phone. Stop speaking to the people that you associate drink with. That's not going to work moving forward. It might for some. It didn't for me. I kept everyone in my close circle. I was the liability, not them. I didn't have friends that would go, come on, come out, come out, come out. I was the last one of my group doing this. I'm 32 now. I was the final piece in the puzzle of my group not growing up. Like the Peter Pan, as my friend Joe Ball will know very well. I was the Peter Pan, and I didn't want to be that anymore. So I went out and put myself in awkward positions. I made it hard for myself, and I got through it. Once I got to 30 days, I wanted 50. Once I got to 50, I wanted 100. I'm an addict. I want the numbers. I want everything to be crazy. I don't like the saying, I'm an addict. I'm in recovery. I relapsed. I personally don't like that. I'm just sober now. That's what I am. I'm sober now. I'm 110 days sober, and my life is infinitely better than it was when I was drinking. Alcohol offers you certain things. If you're in control of it, crack on, man, like crack on. I would give my left arm to be in control of it and be able to go out to weddings and events and drink. I can't, so I don't. Simple as that. I can't, so I don't. Simple. It sounds easier on paper than it is in practice, but that's how it is. I've done 2 weddings since. I did them both sober. I enjoyed them. was gone by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. There's no positive coming from me from 9, 10 o'clock onwards. I'm tired. I'm sleeping. So yeah, I think that kind of answers that question. This whole idea for me is like a mini therapy for me, because I never spoke about my problems when I had them. If I did, it was to people that were in my loop that had the problem as well, so you can kind of confide in them. With the sobriety side of it, I need to open up and speak about where I was. People feel they should be ashamed of where they were, and you can't talk about it. What if people think less of you because of how bad you was? It happened. Like, I can't undo that, and I don't want to undo it. I need to talk about it. I need to be open about it. I was a borderline alcoholic. The amount I was drinking, I would have been, on paper, I was obviously an alcoholic. I wasn't in control of it. I couldn't not stop. I was a cocaine addict. It's simple as that. That isn't nice to hear, but it's the truth. Like, pussyfooting around the problem doesn't get you anywhere. Like, it doesn't get you anywhere, because you're always worried what other people are going to think about you. What do they think about you now? People think I'm sound now. Everyone keeps raving about me. I'm the best thing since sliced bread at the moment. Everyone's telling me how positive they feel about me, how much better I look. I've lost a stone in weight since I started this. I'm out all the time. I'm smiling all the time. I'm happy. I'm a better dad. I'm a better partner. I'm just a better person. That is what I care about. I don't care what people thought about me before. I don't care. I've got to deal with that, and I'm okay with it. That's all that matters. As long as I'm okay and my family are okay with it, that's all that matters. And that is the be all and end all for me. You have to be selfish. I've been selfish all of my life, hence why I became a drinker and doing drugs, because I only cared about myself. I'm still doing that now, but without the drink and drugs. I'm being selfish, and this is all for me and my family. And that's how you've got to look at it. I think it's very easy to pussyfoot around. Don't. That's my only advice I can give on that. I don't know what the context of this, the rest of this is going to be, and what the concept is, sorry, for this YouTube/podcast idea. I'm thinking this was the opener, just to gauge your reaction. Drop comments about whether you liked it, whether you didn't, what you think I could do different. And if there's any questions that you want to ask, feel free to anonymously message me or comment on the video. I think moving forward, I'll do a couple of more of these, like to speak about certain parts and touch on other subjects, and maybe even bring other people in that I was around when I was drinking that dealt with me, and also other people that were in the same situation as me, because I have other friends that have also gone down this route and are sober. I also have other friends that aren't sober but are contemplating, oh, shall I not? Seeing you do it means anyone can. I'm that guy. I'm the yardstick. If I did it, you could do it. I'm the budgie down the mine. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. If you're still listening, if you're not, fuck you. So yeah, cheers, and 110 days and out. Cheers.